Hello there, and welcome back to Gunpla with Dad. As you watch this build come together, I want to, metaphorically, slow things down for a moment. Right now, my hands are carefully painting parts. My runners sit sorted and laid out. Most of my tools have been put where they belong. Deep in our hearts, we know there is something ancient about building. Long before instructions, kits, boxes, and manuals, before we could read, before we could write, before we knew of metals, plastics, and composites, we built with our hands because we had to. We built homes, we built tools, fires, farms, and communities. Creation wasn't a hobby. Building was not something we did to pass the time. It was part of our survival, and somewhere along the way, things changed. A lot of what we do now is digital, intangible. Emails are sent, files are saved and backed up to a cloud, or multiple copies are saved into drives. There's plenty of work being completed, but unless you hit print, there's nothing to hold. You can spend an entire day working hard on the conceptual, yet we have nothing physical to show for it. No weight, no texture, no proof you can turn over in your hands. Nothing embodies the time and effort that was put into the final product. I think that's why building still matters. When I finish a kit, I pick it up. There's a quiet satisfaction there. Not because it's perfect, not because it's necessarily impressive, but because it's real. It has weight. It occupies space. It exists because I gave it time, effort, and attention. That matters more than we realize. There's something grounding about seeing effort become form, about watching everything come together from the unrecognizable to something that resembles the picture on the box, about watching dozens of loose pieces turn into something whole. It reminds you that patience produces results, that discipline has shape, that creativity isn't just an idea, it is an action. And as a dad, this hits deeper than the build, because I've seen that same look in my kids' eyes. That moment when they bring something up to you and say, "Look what I made." It doesn't matter what it is, a drawing, a sandwich, a Lego tower, their best attempt at making a flawless kit or something unique, uneven and imperfect. What truly matters in that moment is the pride in their voice. That pride doesn't disappear when we grow up. We just forget how to listen to it. Somewhere along the way, we start to measure things and place value on them differently. By speed, by efficiency, by output, and sometimes by quantity over quality as deadlines loom and expectations rise. But building asks something different from us. It asks us to slow down. It asks us to focus, to accept mistakes as part of our growth and part of the learning process. When we build, we're not just assembling parts. We're practicing patience. We're training discipline. We're building resilience. We allow ourselves to actively practice reflection, introspection, and problem solving. We are actively exercising creativity in a way that demands our presence. And as I've said before, presence is becoming rarer and rarer. Building reminds us that we are capable of learning, capable of finishing, capable of creating something from nothing, not because it's easy, but because it's worth doing. We build because it connects us to who we've always been, hands-on, intentional, thoughtful. And maybe that's the real reason we keep coming back to the table, not for the kids, not for the shelf, but for the reminder that we can still make something, that we can still be proud of it. that we can still hold this up and say, I built this. Gunpla with Dad. Build, reflect, repeat. And as always, thank you for watching